Well, that was a pretty straightforward vote. Yeah, I don't think it will be like that moving forward, though. Tribal worked out perfectly. Memphis went out unanimously, which is actually something I didn't quite expect, but hey, glad I was able to stay in the majority for the first vote. I, however, think that Courtney is kind of right that the votes are probably not going to be that way moving forward. So what do you think? Think about what? About how the game's playing out right now. I mean, I'm definitely grateful everything worked out good last night, but you obviously know that it's just getting started. Yeah, it is. So how do you feel about everybody else? I mean, I'm pretty mixed. I think we can trust John. Daniel, I think we can trust. As for everybody else, they're definitely wild cards, honestly. Yeah, I guess. I don't entirely know where I sit with the majority of these people. I mean, I trust Matt, I trust John, I trust Sandra, and I think I trust Daniel. Everybody else on Asano, however, is a wild card. I mean, I don't know what to think of Carl or Gerald. I don't really trust Courtney. I don't really like Courtney. And Marcy, I don't know anything really about Marcy. So I'm honestly not sure where I sit entirely with everybody here. But as long as I'm in the majority, I should be okay. So are all of us good? Yeah, we should be. I mean, I don't know. That side has 5. And if they're all close, then we're kind of not in a good spot. Yeah, maybe, but I'm in goods with Daniel, so maybe we can flip him. Okay. I'm definitely put into a bit of a situation where I feel like I'm gonna have to pick a side, because I really want to work with Gerald and Carl, but the problem with that is that they're on the other side. They are not with the people I'm with. And that's scary because I trust Matt, Fran, and Sandra. And if I betray their trust, then, well, chances are, I'm in a majority alliance, but if they go home bitterly, then, well, I'm probably not gonna win any votes. So, I'm kind of a bit unsure where I sit in this group. Alright, guys. As long as, we're all still good, we can get rid of the other 4. Really? Yeah, because we have an easy path to Final 5 with Memphis out. So, now with him gone, I feel like we should just mow down the rest of the people. I guess it makes sense. Yeah, sure. Okay then. At Tribal, we all just agreed that even though Memphis could have been used as a number, we couldn't really trust him, so therefore we had to send him out. But with us in the majority at 5 versus 4, we need to take advantage of this and get rid of the Parika members. I mean, looking at who we're up against, Matt, Fran, Sandra, and John, they all pose as threats in their own kind of way. I mean, you're not wrong. So what do you think, Courtney? Well, personally, I would start with Matt. He seems to encapsulate like a social game, a physical game, and even a strategic game, so I feel like he might be the biggest threat of the bunch, so I feel like we need to, focus on him. Yeah, but we can't, we can't just cross everybody off the hot seat just yet. Yeah, I know, but Matt right now poses as the big threat, and until the challenge, I'll get confirmation whether or not that might be the smart move, but right now I think it is. Courtney wants to start playing the game, which is good for her, I guess, but I mean, I'm here to play my game, and I don't want Courtney to just take control of this alliance and call the shots. That's not happening. I'm not letting her, get any ounce of power because, I mean, Courtney is unpredictable, so her combined with power does not seem like a pretty combination. So I need to kind of shut that down as soon as I can. How are you guys feeling? I don't really trust Courtney, but I mean, she's with us. And I mean, the idea is not a terrible one. Yeah, I agree. But I'm kind of worried. About what? About Dan. I'm worried the most about Dan. As I said before, probably not the exact same words, but still. Me and Carl talked with him, and he was unsure where we stood with him in terms of loyalty because we were tempted to get rid of one of the younger guys. And I think he took it the wrong way. I don't think we didn't intend for him to, like, interpret it as, oh, we were willing to target him. We were wanting to target, you know, the younger guys on the other side, but we didn't say that specifically. So I feel like we might have jeopardized this idea that Courtney came up with. When we talked with Daniel, we told him that we were willing to take out the younger guys, and I think he interpreted what we said wrong. What do you mean? Well, we said we were willing to take out any of the younger guys, and I think he interpreted it as us being willing to, you know, vote him off soon. So I feel like he's hesitant on trusting us. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, but if that's the case, I don't think it will be the worst thing in the world because, you know, me and Gerald are okay with John, and as long as we keep talking with him, I feel like we might get something going. Interesting. I'm definitely getting a bit scared of the older guys. I mean, they are the tribe with the most people in the game right now, because after Memphis went out, you know, as it stands, it's me and Sandra for the older women, then there's Matt and Daniel for the younger men, Fran and Courtney for the younger women, and now there is Gerald, Carl, and John for the older men. And as it stands, if the older guys get together, then that's not going to be good for Final 5, because if I'm going into the Final 5, me and Courtney are kind of screwed in that scenario because, you know, they're older guys. So I might have to come up with a backup plan just in case. Dan, can we talk? Yeah, sure. Alright, what'd you want to talk to me about? Well, I wanted to talk to you about our alliance. Alright, what about it? Where do you stand on it? Well, in all honesty, I don't know. Really? Yeah, I want to trust some of the people in my alliance, but I don't know if I can. I mean, I trust you, but it's just the other three I don't know. I mean, I don't really like Courtney. I don't like how, you know, we let her get her way of getting rid of Jasmine. Like, we don't know for sure if she had the idol. Well, actually, with us talking with, you know, Matt and Fran, she essentially did, but whatever. Point is, I still don't feel good about letting her get her way, and I don't know if I can trust Carl or Gerald. Why? Well, I mean, they did say they were willing to take out the younger guys, and I'm a younger guy. Yeah, I know, but maybe they just meant that they wanted to take out the people on the other side. Maybe, but even still, I don't know how far I could throw them, and I don't feel like they wouldn't hesitate voting for me. I feel like if it came down to it, I think Gerald and Carl would probably write my name down. I mean, the reason why I say this is just because, I mean, they've been getting close to John, and, I mean, when we talked, I mean, they did straight up tell me that they were willing to take out one of the younger guys. And I'm literally one of the younger guys. Now, yes, it could be possible they were referring to Matt or Memphis, and I guess they were referring to Memphis, because that's how it went, but, like, still, I don't know how far I can throw them, so, I mean, I wouldn't put it past them if they end up, you know, talking strategy about taking me out soon. I mean, I'm not 100% sure where I stand with those two. The thing I'm worried about from Gerald and Carl is how close they are with John. What do you mean? Well, they told me that in case if you were to flip, they would get John on their side. Oh, well, that's not really good. Yeah, because we don't really know much about John, so yeah, and that's not really good because it could seem like John's playing both sides. So what do you suggest? Well, we gotta get the older guys out because they have 3 members now, so they're the biggest threats out here. And, I mean, we need to make a move as soon as possible because, you know, we're only down to 9 people, and we can only go so far without making a move before we need to start making moves and building our resume, and I think we should get the jump on it now while the iron's hot. You don't win this game by just sitting on your butt and letting the entire game play out the way you think it should. You win this game by making moves and putting the right people on the jury. And I need to make something big happen while I can, because if I don't, then I'm probably going to go far into the game, yes, but I'm going to end up going far without anything on my resume. And that is not ideal. Hey, you two, can we talk? Oh yeah, sure, Dan, what's up? So, how do you two feel about, John? Why John? Just want to know. We're okay with him. Why? Well, I don't really trust him. Well, I mean, you don't have to. I mean, we're not forcing you to. Yeah, I know, but I don't really think you guys should trust him either. And if you guys still trust him, I want you two to at least be wary of him. Why? Well, because let's think about this. He's in goods with you two, yes, but he's also in goods with the other two older guys. I mean, look over there. Ah, shoot. See? Well, maybe that's just a coincidence. Coincidence maybe, but even still, we still need to watch out. I mean, Marcy talked to me and told me that if she and Courtney go down the route of, you know, replacing me with John and going to Final Five with him, Gerald, and Carl, they are just going to get taken out, and then, you know, Gerald, Carl, and John would be at the end. So, what do you suggest? We need to get rid of one of them to guarantee that doesn't happen. I mean, I guess. The thing is, I trust John more than Daniel, but John isn't really making himself, you know, look promising right now because he's talking with Gerald and Carl, and they are on the other side. Now, obviously, it's a free world. He can talk to whoever he wants, but that's definitely making me be on edge about him, because if he's with me and Fran, and he's with Gerald and Carl, who are on the other side, he's essentially, you know, playing both sides, and I don't know if I can trust someone like that. I mean, you two can trust him all you want. I mean, I'm not gonna take that, you know, I'm not gonna take, you know, your alliance with him away from you, but it's just like a thought. Okay then. So what are you guys thinking? Well, I mean, I feel like we may need a replacement within the alliance. Yeah, why? Well, because Daniel's on edge about us, because we talked to him, and, you know, he was hesitant on trusting us because we talked about getting rid of the younger guys, and he was one of them. So, yeah. Well, we didn't mean it like that, but I guess he took it that way. I don't know. So, what are you guys thinking? Well, we would want you into the alliance because I feel like we can make something happen. I mean, if we go Final Five, us three, Courtney and Marcy, we just get rid of the two and we'll be in the finals. I guess so. I am really tempted to go to the end with Carl or Gerald. One of them, not both of them probably, because I don't know if I want to go to the end with both of them. I probably would want to go to the end maybe with Gerald and Carl, simply because, you know, Gerald seems like someone I can beat over Carl. Carl seems a bit more social and physical, so I feel like if I'm in the end, I would probably want to go to the end with either Carl or Gerald. But both of them, that's a stretch. Welcome to the next immunity challenge. For this challenge, you will step up onto this platform, and one by one, you will toss your 3 balls into this basket. Your goal is to score as many as possible. If you end up setting a high score and the person after that doesn't beat it, then they would be out. But if they end up beating your highest score, you would be out. The player that ends up scoring the highest after everyone ends up going wins immunity. However, if it comes down to it where multiple people score the highest score, then that would mean we would go into one last battle where they would only throw 1 ball, and the person who ends up scoring would win immunity. But either way, the person who wins immunity will be safe from the vote, and everybody else will have a chance at being the 8th person voted out of this game and the 2nd member of our jury. Make sense? Alright, let's get started. Carl, since you won the last challenge, you get the honors of going first. Let's see how he does. Carl takes his first throw. Let's see how he does. He makes it. Second throw. He fails. Final throw. He makes it. He scores 2. Next one up is Courtney. Let's see how she does. First throw. Fails. Second throw. Makes it. Third throw. Fails. She only scores 1, which is not good enough to beat Carl. She's out. Sandra is next up. Let's see how she does. First throw. Ooh, it goes in, but bounces out. She makes her second shot. Misses her third. Because she didn't beat Carl and didn't tie with Carl, she's out too. It's now Matt's turn. His first throw misses. And his second throw misses. Because he screwed up his second throw, he can't beat Carl, so Matt is automatically out before he could even throw the third shot. The highest score to beat is the score of 2 from Carl. Will John beat it? Let's find out. John's first throw. Ooh, it goes in, but it goes out. Second throw. He makes it. Third throw. Comes up short. John is out. So far, nobody has been able to beat Carl's score of 2. But will Marcy be able to do it? Let's find out. Her first throw. She makes it. Second throw. She fails. Third throw. She makes it. She ties with Carl with a score of 2. Daniel's up next. If he gets 3, he can eliminate both Carl and Marcy, but he could also tie with them. Let's find out. His first throw. It fails. Second throw. He makes it. Final throw. Oh, it comes up short. Daniel is out. Fran is now up. Let's see how she does. First throw. She makes it. Second throw. Comes up short. Final throw. She makes it. Tying with Marcy and Carl. Gerald is the last one up. If he scores 3, not only will we not have a tiebreaker, but that would also mean that he would win immunity. Let's see how he does. His first throw, he fails. Second throw, it goes in and it goes out, and since it doesn't matter what he does with his third throw, he's automatically out. After 9 people went, 6 players ended up getting eliminated, and only Carl, Marcy, and Fran remained. They will battle it out on this tiebreaker challenge. However, they only get 1 shot. Let's see how they do. Carl is the first one to go. How will he do? He comes up short, which means it all comes down to the other 2, if they make it or not. Marcy's up, and she fails too, meaning we'll have to go to another tiebreaker if Fran fails this. Will it be a tiebreaker, or will Fran win immunity? Her shot for immunity. Oh, you cannot even make this up. Since it did not go in, we are going to have to go to another tiebreaker. Same tiebreaker, only 1 shot, but you fail it, and you could have a chance at going out. Carl's shot. He fails. Marcy's shot also fails, meaning that it comes down to Fran yet again. Will Fran's shot go in, or will it come up very short again? Her shot for the win. And she does it, which means Fran has won immunity and is safe from the vote. Congratulations, Fran, on winning immunity. You're safe from the vote. As for everybody else, Tribal Council tonight, someone will be the 8th person voted out and the 2nd member of our jury. Won't be you. Anyways, got nothing else for you guys. Grab your stuff and head back to camp. I'll see you guys tonight. When I messed up that 1 shot, I'll admit I was pretty annoyed, but I was able to pull off the win, and now I'm immune, and I'm feeling really great about that. Awesome work. Thanks, man. I wish I could have done better than what I did, but hey, at least immunity's still within our alliance, right? Yeah, of course. I was rather annoyed that I lost, but that's okay because Fran won, and she's in my alliance. And it's always good to have, her immune, and, to have immunity within, our friend group. Alright guys, we might have a minority alliance here, but we do have immunity within this alliance, so all hope is not entirely lost. Yeah, Matt's right. I mean, what do you guys think about the vote? To be honest, I don't really care who it is. Yeah, neither do I. Okay. Well, I feel like maybe we can flip Daniel, and then I'm probably gonna have to lean between either Marcy or Carl, because they are pretty physical threats, and Carl is kind of dangerous in terms of the physical competition. Yeah, I guess. So my alliance of Matt, Fran, and Sandra want to eliminate either Marcy or Carl, and I get mixed feelings on that. I understand that they are big threats, but I've started to get kind of close with Carl. If it ends up being Marcy, I won't be entirely against it, because, I don't really have that much connection with Marcy. But if they want to end up doing Carl, then I'm definitely going to be in a rough spot. Well, it's unfortunate we couldn't pull off immunity. Yeah, well, Fran's immune. I don't think she would have been the target either way, but I guess whatever. Yeah, it just means we'll have to switch our targets. Well, no, not necessarily. I'm pretty sure Matt was always our target to begin with. Yeah. So, is that what we're doing tonight, Matt? Makes sense. I'm cool with it. Sure. Yeah, okay. Matt going out wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. I mean, guy's kind of a physical threat. He's kind of a strategic threat. But I feel like taking him out won't be the smartest idea, because then people will look at strategic threats, and who will they see as strategic threats? Possibly me, possibly Marcy. So I feel like it makes sense to keep Matt around a bit longer, at least a little longer than we need to, before we just toss him. But we can't take him out just yet, because if he goes out, then that gets rid of a possible shield that I might need. So I might have to come up with another plan to try and get the vote to go down the different direction. Not being immune is kind of scary, but as long as I play low under the radar, I don't think I will be targeted. But, I don't really want to see any of my allies go. They want to take out Matt. I'm pretty cool with it. Matt's kind of a dangerous player. He's kind of in control of that group on the other side, so might as well just cut off the ringleader while we can. Hey, John. Oh, hey, Carl. So, do you know what you're doing tonight? Honestly, no, not really. I mean, my side wants to take out either you or Marcy. Huh. Well, if you want to hear what we're doing, we're taking out Matt. I feel like he is controlling that other side, and I feel like you need to jump ship. Why? Well, because, if you don't jump ship, you'll be a sitting duck, and, think about it. We'd probably make a move on someone within our alliance, probably Courtney, maybe, and then it could be me, you, Gerald in the final three. We just take out Daniel and Marcy, just as long as neither of them win, and I feel like I can handle both of them in a challenge, probably. Okay, man. Alright then. Yeah, I'm in peculiar waters right now, because I have a tough decision, because I'm choosing one side or the other. I can't pick them both, because, well, we're on completely different sides at this point. Carl and his group wants to take out Matt, and Matt and his group wants to take out either Carl or Marcy. It didn't come down to a full-blown decision, but I truly do not know what I'm gonna do, because I've preached loyalty to Matt and Fran before I did with Carl, and I don't want to go against those two. But the offer of going to the final three with Carl and Gerald just seems too good to pass up. I really don't know. Alright, I talked with John, and hopefully he'll be down to vote off Matt. Alright, cool. So, what do you two think about Marcy and Daniel? mean, I don't really trust them, but I mean, we gotta keep them around, for now at least, because, you know, we need to get through this vote. We can't, you know, have Matt avoid another vote. Yeah, I guess. It seems like Carl has been able to sway John onto our side. But I'm nervous if John joins this alliance, because if he joins, then that means all 3 older guys are in this alliance, and that's scary. You know, those 3 older guys, you know, could be tight, and if we just get rid of everybody else on the other side, and possibly make a move on either Marcy or Daniel in the coming future, then what am I gonna look like? I'm gonna look like a fool, because I'd be bringing 3 guys into the final 5 who would just probably take me out, final 5 or 4. And I did not come into this game for 5th or 4th place. I came in this game for 1st place. So, if Carl and Gerald are getting close with John, then I have to get close with John just to ensure that, you know, I'm not the one getting targeted anytime soon. And at least I have some leverage going forward. Hey, John. Oh, Courtney, is it? Yes. Hey. What do you want to talk to me about? Well, I talked with Carl and Gerald, and Carl told me that you're with our side, so I might as well have, you know, a conversation with you. Okay. I never caught what you did for a living. What do you do? I do not have a job at this moment. I'm currently unemployed. Oh, well, out of curiosity, what would you want to be? Well, I want to probably go to law school and, be a lawyer. Really? Yeah, I know it's a tough job. You know, it's not an easy thing to do, but, you know, my philosophy is the harder something is, the better the reward will be at the end of the trail. Huh, interesting, moral to, you know, live by. Thanks. Interesting you're going for, something in the law enforcement. Really? Why? Well, because I actually work in the law enforcement. Really? As what? Okay, do not tell anyone about this, but I'm a judge. Really? That outfit reads cattle rancher. Yeah, well, the thing is, looks are deceiving, and I intentionally dress like this because I don't want people to know I'm a judge. Well, I can't blame you. I mean, judges are infamous and known for, smelling out liars. Yeah, that's kind of why I dress like this. I don't want anyone to, you know, get suspicious about me being, you know, someone who can smell out a liar, because that obviously will put a massive target on your back. Yeah, if this got out to anyone else, you would have been dead. Probably. But don't worry, since you're in the field that I want to go into, and because you're in my side, I'll keep this as a secret. There is something about John that honestly kind of clicks for me, and that is how incredibly genius he is. I mean, he literally looks like a cattle rancher or some kind of cowboy from Texas or something. But no, he's a judge, and if this got out to anyone else, I'm pretty sure he would have been a pretty dead monkey. But because, you know, I want to go into the field that he is in, but not as a judge, probably as a lawyer, because, you know, I think a lawyer would probably be a more harder job to do overall, even though both would seem harder. But regardless, I want to tell anyone about this because I feel like I want to get closer to John, because I want to ensure that I make his, I kind of make, things complicated between him, myself, Gerald, and Carl, because if those 3 are in the end, and I just, you know, try and convince him to stick with me, and hey, even if that doesn't work, I could throw him under the bus to Gerald or Carl. So I feel like being given this information is perfect. So it seems like Matt's going out, right? Yeah, I heard from Carl that he talked to John. So if it's you, me, Carl, Gerald, John, and Courtney, I'm pretty sure Matt is pretty much donezo. Yeah, how do you feel? I mean, I'm mixed on it. I mean, I understand why Matt should go, and I feel like it makes sense to vote him. But if he goes out, who will be viewed as the biggest strategic threats? I don't know who. Probably you, probably me. We need Matt around to make sure eyes are off of us. I guess that makes sense. So, I feel like we need to kick our plan into action. I'm worried, guys. Yeah, I am too, but I hope we can get someone on our side. Yeah, I mean, if John is talking to the people on the other side, we're kind of screwed. Yeah, and if he flips, we're definitely screwed. Well, I'm pretty sure you might be screwed, Matt. He might want to target you. Yeah, that's not something I want. Hey, you three. Oh, Marcy, Daniel. What's up? Nothing much. We've noticed how Courtney and Carl have been talking with John. Yeah? So, what's your point? Well, the thing is, we are willing to extend a vine out to all of you guys. Really? Why? Because we obviously know that if we go down that route and just, vote off Matt, because, that's who the target was, then me and Daniel are obviously going to be the next big strategic threats here. Okay, that's a bit much to say, but okay, go on. What we're saying is we're willing to jump ship as long as you are down to do what we want to do. I guess we don't know what you guys are doing, though. We'll tell you, we obviously know that the 3 older guys still in this game are going to be big threats moving forward. They are the only group of people with more than 2 members. The only person on the older group, the older men group, that got eliminated was George, which was over a week ago. Okay? If we let the older guys get far into this game and we just take out each other one by one, then we're just gonna, essentially give those 3 spots in the end. I guess when you look at it like that, that does sound pretty scary. So, are we all in an agreement to take out one of the older guys? Yeah, sure. I probably wouldn't want to do John. Yeah, we weren't gonna even think about doing John. So, are we doing Carl? Well, I don't know. All hope seemed lost for me and Fran, and things would have been incredibly grim for Matt. But Marcy and Daniel talked to us and want to help us and take out one of the older guys. And as much as I kind of am mixed about doing that, I kind of feel like this is what we gotta do in order to get off of the bottom. It doesn't seem like we're doing John. If we're taking out one of the older guys, I probably would want to take out Carl. What do you mean you're unsure? Carl is the biggest threat of the 3, isn't he? Yeah, well, here's the thing. Gerald is kind of a dark horse. In what way? Well, he plays low under the radar, unlike Carl and John. Those 2 are rather social and talk a lot about the game, but Gerald kind of lays back and lets the game play out. And if we let him hang back while he is still around, then we might end up opening an opportunity for him to make something big happen in the future, and that's kind of scary. I guess. He might not be the most physical, he might not be the most strategic, but I feel like he overall could encapsulate someone who could dominate later on. Maybe, but Carl does seem like a big threat. I guess, when you're factoring that in, I guess that makes sense. Alright, here's the thing. We have a few hours before Tribal Council. Let's just keep talking over and thinking about it, because one of the older guys have to go. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, if you're gonna take out one of the older guys, just take out Carl. He's the biggest threat overall. But we can't underlook the other 2. John, yes, he probably won't be targeted by us, but that's only because he's in my group and I don't want, any kind of animosity between my group of, Carl and Gerald when we get back to camp because of John going out. But the thing with Gerald is he's played under the radar for a good chunk of the game, and we're at Final 9, and he's still laying low. Taking out Carl would be pretty straightforward. But taking out Gerald might be something bigger to put on my resume, because he might not be the biggest threat, but he seems like the person who would least expect to go out. I don't know, because at the same time, I do think Carl might be the bigger threat, and taking out a bigger threat might be a bigger move, but what would be more interesting? Something a bit more unpredictable, or something that would probably be more beneficial moving forward? Definitely a lot to consider here. Welcome to another tribal council. First things first, we'll bring in the first member of our jury. Memphis voted out the last tribal council. So, Fran, you're immune. How does that feel? Well, Jeff, feels awesome. I don't know if I would have been targeted, but as the saying goes, it's always great to have it, even if you're not being targeted. How about you, Carl? You had immunity last time, and you don't have it now. Are you worried? If people perceive me as a threat, then yeah. And I feel like that could happen. So yeah, in other words, I am nervous. How nervous are you, Matt? You also received a vote last night. Are you anywhere near nervous? Of course I am, Jeff. I mean, one vote means anything, and I feel like it could translate tonight. Alright, with that said, it's time to vote. John, you'll start us off. Well, you were right about being targeted. I know you want to stay here, but that's just too bad. Well, tonight is the night to make something happen, and sorry it has to come down to this. I'll go tally the votes. Alright, if anybody has a hidden immunity idol and you want to play it, now be the time to do so. No? Alright, once the votes are read, the decision is final. Person voted out will be asked to leave the tribal council area immediately. I'll read the votes. First vote. Matt. Matt. 2 votes, Matt. Matt. That's 3 votes, Matt. 6 votes left. Gerald. That's 3 votes, Matt. 1 vote, Gerald. Matt. That's 4 votes, Matt. 1 vote, Gerald. Gerald. That's 4 votes, Matt. 2 votes, Gerald. Gerald. That's 4 votes, Matt. 3 votes, Gerald. 2 votes left. Gerald. We're tied. 4 votes, Matt. 4 votes, Gerald. 1 vote left. 8th person voted out of LEGO Survivor Guyana and the 2nd member of our jury. Gerald. Wow, Gerald, that's need to bring me your torch. Well, who did it? I did. Same here. What the hell, Dan and Mars? Dang. Gerald, the tribe has spoken. It's time for you to go. Well, based on some of your reactions and what was said tonight after the vote, it was clear that this was a blindside. What's in store for the final 8 of you? Only time will tell. Anyways, got nothing else for you guys. Grab your stuff and head back to camp. Good night. I let my guard down, and that really cost me tonight. I didn't expect to be blindsided. I thought that they were going for Carl, but I guess I was wrong. I guess I'm cool with being on the jury and voting for one of these people to win. I hope Carl makes it to the end. Best of luck, buddy. Hopefully you can do this. And I hope you give them all hell.